Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new pedal from a brand new UK based boutique pedal builder. This is the Messiah Drive from Chevtone Effects. Chevtone are a brand new UK-based boutique pedal builder. All the pedals are hand-built to order by Adam that runs the company. Adam has a background in the high-end automotive industry. Their mission is to create classic guitar effects using NOS and vintage spec parts. All the components are mounted on vintage style tag board, and the insides of the pedals look just as good as the outside. Each of the components is hand measured to ensure consistency, so each pedal will sound just as good as the one before it. Adam at Chevtone hand assembles the pedals with vintage building methods, but with the reliability and durability of a modern pedal. So we all know that some of the vintage pedals aren't the best when you take them out for gigs, but the Chevtone pedals are built to sound like old pedals, but to live up to the expectations of what we need now as working musicians. The Messiah Drive is their flagship overdrive pedal. It's a Marshall style pedal. It gives you all of those 60s and 70s classic Plexi sounds. The pedal's been described as sounding like everything from Paul Kossoff to Gary Moore, and I really think it does do that and everything in between. You can go from those early Eric Clapton style licks right up to some 80s British heavy metal kind of sounds. It's a very versatile pedal and it looks just as good on the outside as it does on the inside. The layout's very simple. We've got a volume, a gain, a bass and a treble knob, and a two-way clipping switch in the middle that selects between a low gain and a higher gain clipping diode. But by high gain, we don't mean sort of roaring heavy metal here. We mean sort of classic British overdriven metal sounds. Think 80s Iron Maiden, Gary Moore, Thin Lizzy, all those sort of heavy British rock groups. That's where the heavy side of this will get you. The Messiah Drive is handcrafted using hand-selected carbon film resistors and vintage paper in oil and Silver Mica capacitors. The way this pedal has been built almost reminds me of a vintage amp, even though it's just in this small little box, but it will make your amp sound like a roaring Marshall stack. It's such a useful pedal to have, and if you play anything from blues to classic rock to sort of 80s heavy metal, this pedal will get you everything you need. The looks of the pedal are very eye-catching too. You've got these distressed copper knobs and the bright green LEDs, so you'll always see it on the stage. Because this is an op-amp based circuit with asymmetrical clipping diodes, it does react like a real guitar amp. It has the sag and feel of a roaring Marshall amp. It's very, very dynamic and very sensitive to pick attack and rolling the volume on your guitar back. It cleans up just like a real amp would. So I think we should probably plug this thing in now and see how it sounds. But before we do that, please scroll down the page and hit that subscribe button. Your subscriptions really help this channel to grow and allow me to keep making cool videos just like this. All my favorite Plexi players always used Les Pauls, so I'm going to start off with my old Epiphone Les Paul. I've had this guitar for probably the best part of 20 years now. It's been around the block a little bit. It's a bit worn and a bit bad, but I love it. This is my first proper guitar and I play this one all the time. So this is the perfect guitar to kick off some Plexi style tones. The amp I'm using is the Cool Amplification Blue Sky. This is a completely clean 6L6 style combo. You don't normally associate Marshall style tones with 6L6 tubes, but that's the whole point. Because this amp is completely clean, it's the perfect platform for pedals and transforming the sound into something different. So just by applying the Messiah Drive to this amp, we're going to take this 6L6 completely clean combo into those roaring Marshall stack style tones. The only other pedal in the chain is the TC Electronics Hall of Fame Mini, just for a little bit of reverb because the amp doesn't have any reverb of its own. The amp's mic'd up with an Aston Origin condenser mic. Here's the clean tone of the amplifier. So we'll start with the Messiah Drive with all the knobs in the 12 o'clock position and the clipping switch on the low gain mode. Straight away some pretty nice tones there. So I'm going to dial in a slightly more classic tone. So I'm just going to take the gain back to about a quarter of the way up, and I'm going to push the bass and treble a little bit more. On some of the lower gain settings, you can get those really cool 60s Eric Clapton style tones. So get the bridge pickup on your Les Paul, roll that tone control back to about halfway. I'm a huge fan of those 60s Marshall combo style breakup tones. If we push the gain a little bit more now and add a little bit more top end, we're going to get a nice 60s style Jimmy Page tone. Because the pedals sound so amp-like, it also cleans up really well. So if I hit a chord now and I roll the volume back, I'm going to get a much cleaner tone. Very dynamic, very amp-like. Let's push the gain up to about 3/4 of the way now on the low gain channel. The tone controls have a huge range on this as well, so let's set the treble and the bass all the way to full and just put the gain back to halfway. Now let's put them all the way down and see how that sounds. This is going to give us a much warmer tone. So now we're going to flip over to the higher gain sound. So I'm going to put the EQ back to midnight. I'm going to go down to 1/4 of the way up on the gain and flip the diode selector to the high gain mode. This is going to give us a great 70s rock ACDC kind of vibe. So on the high gain mode, as we increase the gain, this is where we start to venture more into the 80s rock territory. So if I go up to half gain now, so we're straight up at midnight, this is going to get us the starting of an 80s rock style guitar tone. If we then proceed to go even higher on the gain, so let's go to 3/4 of the way up, we're going to get a bit more of a British heavy metal sound, so think bands like Iron Maiden. fun, let's go all the way to the high gain. We wouldn't be able to properly talk about a Plexi style pedal without covering some Strat tones. So here's my early 1980s Tokai Strat. We're going to dial in some low gain Strat style tones. So I'm going to flip back to the low gain clipping and put the gain back on a quarter of the way up. Crank the gain up to halfway. You get some pretty cool Deep Purple style sounds there. Now let's push the gain on the low gain setting all the way up full with a Strat on the neck pickup. There you go, there is the Messiah Drive by Chevtone Effects. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys thought of the tone of this pedal. I personally love it. This is one of the best, most inspiring Plexi style pedals I've ever plugged into. It really can do everything from 60s Clapton right up to some heavier stuff. And while this is designed as a classic voiced overdrive, if you put this in front of an already driven amp, you can probably get pretty heavy with this thing. The EQ is super tweakable to whatever amp and whatever guitar you're using. It really does react well to different playing styles, different dynamics, different volume. It's such a great pedal, and it's very amp-like in its makeup. It feels just like a real amp. So if you're looking for a great versatile drive pedal to add to your board, or you just want a little bit of that classic Marshall vibe, this is definitely one to watch. The Chevtone Effects Messiah Drive. Adam over at Chevtone is a super talented builder, and I've never known a pedal company to put so much attention to detail, not only to how the pedal sounds, but also how it looks inside. The inside is an absolute pleasure just to see. If you're a guitar geek like me, you'll love the way the inside of this thing looks. And it's just as fun to hear how it sounds. It sounds amazing. I think this company is definitely one to watch. So please go check out Chevtone Effects on their website and on all the social media channels. These guys have got big things coming. So please get behind these guys and keep these British boutique builders going, because these guys are the next generation of the big pedal companies. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy, please go down now and hit that subscribe button and come along on this great guitar journey with me. Your subscriptions really help this channel grow, and they allow me to keep making great videos with great companies like Chevtone. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about the Messiah Drive. Please let me know down below in the comments, and let me know what your favorite Plexi style drive pedals are. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.